Hey there everybody, Pete Pardo here from Sea Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Ranking the Albums. Today we're going to take a look at the recorded output of legendary rock supergroup Cream. Perhaps the first ever supergroup. Okay, of course you had three very notable guys in this band. Okay, you had guitarist Eric Clapton, of course, who made a name for himself in both the Yardbirds and John Mayall's Blues Breakers. Okay, you also had Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker from the Grand Bond organization. They did other stuff as well, but all three very notable musicians, all right, coming together for a very short amount of time. Very short amount of time. We're having a bad windstorm here in New York, and I'm looking at a tree that fell across the street from my house as we speak. All right. Scary stuff. Anyway, the band was only together for a very short amount of time. When you really think about it, you know, their first album came out in December of 1966, and by like February of 1969, their final studio album came out, and that was basically it. All right, so just over 2 years, maybe time together, about 2.5 years, thereabouts, right, between touring and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, 4 really good albums. Not a lot of material because, you know, 2 of their albums were mixed with live and studio stuff, so you got some repetition of tracks here and there. A couple of standout live albums as well, which we're going to talk about a little bit too. But I'm going to rank the 4 studio-ish albums. All right, 2 of them are kind of half and half, but I'm just going to rank them in this set here. So I'm going to go with my least favorite to my favorite, although I will say, again, you can't go wrong with any of these 4. You really can't. There's not a bad one here, so it's just a matter of, you know, which one kind of hits you the best, which one maybe is, you know, doesn't resonate with you as much, but I think that all 4 of them are pretty damn good. This was a band that I think that broke a lot of boundaries and really influenced all sorts of other acts to follow. I think a lot of what we know is, you know, heavy rock, hard rock, jam band stuff owes a lot to this band because that's what they did. Their tunes were heavier and meatier than anybody else that came along before them, and they jammed a lot. You know, they went to these blues and jazz excursions, right, unlike anybody else. So pretty cool band. So all right, here we go. I'm going to start off with my number 4. I'm going to go with Goodbye. Okay, which came out in 1969, February of 1969. This was to be the final release. They're kind of contractual. See you later. We're breaking up. Here's an album. Here's a tour, and then we're going to go off and do other things. Which is basically what happened. I dig this album. So again, it's a half live, half studio. So you got the first half, which I believe was where were these recorded? Is this Winterland stuff? I don't remember exactly where. Hold on, I'll tell you in a second. The first couple songs, and it's a pretty short album. First couple of songs recorded at, let's see, the Forum in Los Angeles, California, October of 1968. So there you have that. All right, so, of course, the tracks. All right, you've got I'm So Glad, Politician, and Sitting on Top of the World, which are the live tracks. Pretty spectacular on here. I'm So Glad is nearly 9 minutes long. Again, it's pretty rocking. Right, it's got a lot of soloing, you know, Clapton and Baker just doing their thing. Politician, very good on here. Might be my favorite version of Politician. And Sitting on Top of the World, also spectacular. You know, they go off even more on subsequent live releases. Then you got the studio tracks, which don't fare as well. Badge is a great song. In fact, Badge is like 2 minutes and 40 some odd seconds. A great Clapton tune, kind of gave you a hint of some of the stuff that Eric Clapton would start doing very early in his solo career. It's just a very memorable song. Great vocal by Eric. Love the guitar riff in it. Just really memorable. And then you got 2 other kind of, they're good tracks. To me, they're kind of throwaway on here, but that's Doing That Scrapyard Thing and What a Bring Down. Not very indicative of Cream. I like in both of those songs sound like almost like very average Beatles type fare. Okay, not bad. Okay, but just not like kind of indicative of the rest of the Cream catalog. So all in all, good record, right? Not their best, but good record. Hey, to go out on, you know, it's still sold very well. And, you know, I think the general public missed them quite a bit. But then all of a sudden you had Jimi Hendrix coming up right hot on the heels. And it's almost like Cream who, right? Next up, I'm going to go with Wheels of Fire, double album set released in August of 1968. Okay, all of these were on Polydor Atco. All right. This, another half live, half studio. All right, the live stuff recorded at Winterland. All right. Some seminal Cream tracks here. All right, you've got, of course, Wah Wah White Room, right? That's a legendary Cream song. You got Sitting on Top of the World. Okay, this is all the studio stuff. You got Passing the Time, as you said. The very odd but very cool Pressed Rat and Warthog. Okay, you got Politician. Those Were the Days. Very cool song. I love Bruce's vocals on that. Born Under a Bad Sign, which of course is a song they would make all their own. I love their version of that. And then the kick-ass Deserted Cities of the Heart. All right. Then on the live side, you've got a legendary tune for them from this album, Crossroads. Okay, you got a lengthy, full of jam, Spoonful. Full of jam, Spoonful. You've got Train Time and, of course, Toad, right? So just a really good double album set. You know, there were various bands that did a double album of live and studio stuff. This is one of the better ones, you know, from that era. Coming in number 3, I'm going to go with the first album, Fresh Cream, okay, from 1966. Here's the guys in the band. Very bluesy album. I think they would kind of... This is, again, not Cream fully realized yet, but there is I don't know, there's something about this album that's just really great. It's actually a pretty muscular blues rock album, okay? You got I Feel Free, you got The Great NSU, all right? Sleepy Time, which I adore that. Dreaming, Sweet Wine. Sweet Wine is great. Another song that they would play live and stretch it out to ridiculous proportions. You got Spoonful. Again, some of these old blues classics in the hands of the Cream just became these totally new beasts. Really good. Cat Squirrel. Okay, another very cool blues work out there. 4 Until Late, Rollin' and Tumblin'. I adore Rollin' and Tumblin' from these guys. You know, that's just great stuff. Then you got I'm So Glad, and finishing it off with Toad. Of course, Toad is the big Ginger Baker drum solo vehicle, right? My number 1 album, probably no surprise here, probably be number 1 for most people, is Disraeli Gears, released November 1967. Probably the majority of the Cream classics that most people remember from this album. Strange Brew. Love the bass lick from Jack Bruce on here. Got Sunshine of Your Love, right? A lot of people have stated that could be one of the first ever kind of precursors to heavy metal. All right, it's basically just a cool fuzz riff. But again, you know, a lot of the seeds for what became hard rock, and heavy metal littered throughout these early albums from, you know, Cream and Hendrix and Blue Cheer and The Who, right? The Kinks. A lot of that stuff. What else? World of Pain, Dance the Night Away, Blue Condition, Tales of Brave Ulysses. Another fantastic song. Gotta love Clapton's use of fuzz and wah-wah on these couple of early Cream albums. Really good. Then you got the very odd title, SWLABR, Swalabra, or, you know, She Walks Like a Bearded Rainbow, right? The most bizarre song title ever, but probably the sleeper song in this album for me. Just a great song. Killer. I mean, Clapton's guitar work on this album is just out of control good. You're Going Wrong. You got some kind of cool, weird, like kind of bluesy, atmospheric numbers on this album. Outside Woman Blues, also great. Take It Back, and Mother's Lament to kind of finish it all off. So, yeah, a good album. You know, again, couple little throwaways, but for the most part, some really memorable songs on here. So, we do want to mention some live stuff because, you know, this band was, to me, more of a live powerhouse than a studio band. So you've got the original live Cream, all right, which is pretty fantastic. These are the Mobile Fidelity versions, by the way. NSU, 10 minutes and change. Sleepy Time. Sweet Wine, like I said, is 15 minutes on here, which is absolutely amazing. Rollin' and Tumblin', and then Lawdy Mama. All right, so not a long live album, but pretty damn smoking. And then Live Cream Volume 2, which would come out after they broke up. All right. Also quite good. Deserted Cities of the Heart, White Room on here. Politician, Tales of Brave Ulysses, Sunshine of Your Love, and Steppin' Out. Steppin' Out clocks in at over 13 minutes long. Pretty damn amazing. Lots of jamming. I also really dig this a lot. This is kind of a bootleg. I don't normally show bootlegs, but it's called Dazed Cream. All right, this is ferocious. This, in my opinion, is better than those two I just showed you. This is taken from the Grand Ballroom, Detroit, 1968, as well as more recordings from Winterland in San Francisco from that same year. Fantastic. This is like heavy, trailblazing, jamming away Cream. Amazing. Got all sorts of great songs on here. Tales of Brave Ulysses, NSU, Sitting on Top of the World, another lengthy version of Sweet Wine, Rolling and Tumbling, Spoonful, at nearly 22 minutes long. You got Stepping Out, Train Time, Toad, I'm So Glad, Sunshine of Your Love, and Hideaway. Pretty cool at 14 minutes long. So some great stuff. You know, a great but very short catalog from a band that was not around for too long, but man, what an impact they made. I mean, they really did. These guys are legendary for a reason, and it's just a shame for me. You know, I love Clapton's playing, but for me, I think if I'm going to listen to any Eric Clapton stuff, at least for the majority of it, is I'm going to pick the Mayall stuff, the Cream stuff, the Blind Faith stuff, and like his first couple of solo albums. Because after that, I kind of lost a little interest in Clapton's playing. He just kind of became very safe for me. But man, this early stuff, top notch. And as far as, you know, Bruce and Baker go, I love Ginger Baker's drumming. What a killer player he was. Adding all those real busy jazz fills and what have you, and a lot of great stuff he did after he left Cream. You know, he was also in Blind Faith, but then he did the Air Force stuff and Baker Gervit's Army and all that cool stuff. And, you know, Jack Bruce, tons of really cool solo outings, stuff with Robin Trower and Gary Moore, and I mean, he played with everybody, right? So very, very, very great trio. Hall of Fame, legendary, all three of them together. It's just a shame they weren't around for too much longer, right? So anyway, there you have it. Feel free to rank the Cream albums as you like them, all right? No right or wrong answer here, guys. Just a matter of, you know, which ones mean more to you, right? We can agree they're all pretty great in their own right. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. What's coming up, you might ask? We're going to be doing the same thing sometime this week for Jimi Hendrix, all right? Again, small little official studio releases, but a lot of like posthumous releases, right? So I'm going to have to figure out how to tackle that, because I think what I might do is I might do rank the original album releases and then do live albums and then do all the stuff that came out after he passed away. Except there's actually a lot of really good stuff on those albums, and I enjoy those quite a bit. So I'm going to probably do one lengthy Hendrix episode with kind of looking at all of those, right? So we're going to do that. There's all sorts of cool stuff coming up this week. The list is long. I'm trying to get to Vandergraaf Generator and Saga and Rolling Stones, right? That stuff is all coming. If I can fit it in this week, fine. If not, maybe the weekend or next week. So I'm kind of seeing how that's going. And all sorts of other stuff, guys. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss out. Got Iced Earth top 10 songs coming up this weekend with Jack Toledano. Got some stuff planned for some more thrash metal stuff. So if you like Exodus and Testament and you know, Overkill, bands like that, we're going to try and get to some of the thrash stuff too, because I know we got a lot of fans here. So we'll see how it goes. All right. So www.seatranquility.org, Facebook, Twitter, and of course here on YouTube all the damn time. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.